I've eaten insects before myself. My daughter actually, before she was vegetarian, she had a birthday party, but like she went through a stage when she was younger where she wanted to be an entomologist when she grew up, and so she wanted to have an insect-themed birthday party once, and we had crickets as a snack for the kids there, and all the kids tried them. Some of them liked them, some of them didn't, but they all tried them. Let's get on to some tweets. Twitty tweets. So Dr. Anastasia Maria Lupus says, people want real food. No one wants Bill Gates' fake meat or Klaus Schwab's insects.
But the fake meat is made from real food.
It's made from soy, Suris. It's not meat.
But soy is real food.
So are insects.
Yeah.
Like, so what's really funny about
You're not going to make me eat the bugs, Rhino!
Okay, so I didn't take a screenshot of what this was a reply to. You want to take a guess at what was said before this?
I couldn't even fathom.
Someone posted a picture of Elon Musk wearing 2 hats when he was like 17 years old. And Elon Musk replied to that with like, oh yeah, if I recall correctly, that was the day we did a barn raise, and that action made me have real appreciation for farmers and the hard work they do.
Oh, so we've just got a virtue signaler here.
Yeah, so from that she went immediately to and she retweeted herself with this. She thought it was so good that it deserved a retweet all by itself. And like on top of that, like no one wants Bill Gates' fake meat. I don't know why Bill Gates has to do with it. Like, does he own a fake meat company?
No, it's that so it's because of the conspiracy that Bill Gates is trying to lower the population.
I figured it had something to do with that, but I like, he's a billionaire. He has a bunch of stake in a bunch of different companies, and like maybe he owns one of the fake meat ones too. But like, my daughter wants the fake meat because she's a vegetarian, and you know what? You can be a vegetarian without fake meat. It's actually not that hard. But as a parent, when I'm cooking meals for my kids, it's so much easier if I'm like doing chicken fingers for the boys. I have the fake meat chicken fingers that I can cook for Lily as well. So you
that way nobody feels like they're left out there.
Well, it's not even a matter of being left out. It's just a matter of like they all go in the oven at the same time and the same temperature for the same amount of time, and everybody's dinner's ready at the same time. And it, if the cookie sheet's big enough, I don't even need to put them on separate sheets. So like, it's less dishes. It just makes everything easier.
When I had my so when we used to prepare for Yu-Gi-Oh tournaments, the ones that we'd have to go like cross country to get to, regional championships and stuff like that. Everybody did not have the same diet. We actually had one guy who was vegetarian in the group there. So like whenever I'd prepare meals for us over at my house, it'd literally be like, okay, guys, I'm making spaghetti. There's 2 things of sauce here. They're seasoned the same way. They are prepared the same way, but the meat's going in one pot and it's not going in the other pot. That way everybody can have food still. It's not difficult.
Also, to give a bit of a sneak peek to the video that I'm working on now, it's like a one world order conspiracy theory type video. Actually, the original video no longer exists. Like, I downloaded it and then like a couple days later it was gone. So hopefully mine stays up, because YouTube is really good at telling the difference between someone spreading misinformation and someone correcting misinformation. But
yeah, it's really great at that.
But anyway, they bring up the insect thing and the vegetarian thing, and it's like, okay, so as far as insects are concerned, there are cultures all over the world that have been eating insects for longer than white people have existed. And then it's just us white people that come along and we're like, ew, gross, you're eating bugs. And it's like, but like...
Just ask somebody, do they like shrimp?
Yeah, or lobster.
Those are lobster?
Arthropods. They are bugs.
They're the only difference. Like the only thing that kind of peeves me off of trying to eat most insects is I don't want to eat the shell, because I don't want to eat shrimp shell for the exact same reasons. I don't like the texture. It screws with me. For some reason, my friend Wayne from Sunset City, who apparently just like didn't eat shrimp, just ate shrimp with the shell on when we were at freaking when we were at, it was either the Too Many Games convention or the Sonic convention here in Marietta. It was one of the two. I don't remember which one, but I just remember him just eating the shrimp with the shell on. I'm just sitting there like, no, please don't do this to yourself. You're killing the Floridian in me.
Yeah, Schrodinger's cat says, I doubt white people are the only ones that don't like bugs. Yeah, no, I'm sure there are other cultures that also don't eat bugs, that also don't like bugs, but like, it's an American dude making a video. Like, I, it's mostly white people making a fuss about it. And there's also like this hint of race, like, actually in this video's case, it's very overt
Yeah.
racism that goes on there. So it's like, I'm not saying that the other races can't be racist, but like, I'm not one of them, so I'm not going to comment on. Like, I can talk about white people because I'm one of them. White people suck. I can say that. Anyway, Scott De La Hunt says, whatever happened to Schmeat, the meat made from stem cells grown in a lab? My understanding is that it's still like that is a good idea, but it's got some scale issues. Like, it doesn't scale up as easily as we would like. So it's kind of hard to be profitable with that. Anyway, yeah, so like, I've eaten insects before myself. My daughter, actually, before she was vegetarian, she had a birthday party, but like, she went through a stage when she was younger where she wanted to be an entomologist when she grew up, and so she wanted to have an insect-themed birthday party once, and we had crickets as a snack for the kids there, and all the kids tried them. Some of them liked them, some of them didn't, but they all tried them. And
I think the only insect I think I have eaten offhand, not counting like ones from the sea. I think ants. Ants are the only ones I can think of offhand.
I've never tried ants. I did when I was a teenager. I tried fried mealworms, like the whole worms. Fry them up with some butter. I remember
they smell like peanut butter.
I remember them tasting like popcorn.
Yeah, they taste like. So actually, let me scratch that. I've had mealworms as well. They smell like peanut butter. I don't understand why they smell like peanut butter.
I also burnt the chocolate-covered crickets when I tried to make them, so they didn't taste good. But that might be my fault. Anyway, okay, so this one was funny. I'm not reading all these tweets, but I came across this, and there were like 4 or 5 more tweets in this thread that I couldn't fit in the screenshot. But it's like, this person says, some of the silenced journalists include, some of the silenced scientists include, some of the silenced MDs include, and then he lists all these people that have currently active Twitter handles that if you click on those handles, they'll be full of all the stuff that they're supposedly being silenced from being allowed to say. And what's great is, like, even like in these tweets, they will say, like, where's one of them's a podcaster. Yeah, so like, this person up here, Real Urim Warfare? Real Germ Warfare says, podcast host who fearlessly questions everything. And yeah, guess what? You click on their profile, they have a link to their website where they have an RSS link to their podcast, which is available for all the major podcast players, but they're silenced?
Remember there was a Matt Walsh video that got like 2.6 million views.
Yes.
It was literally titled
They're
I'm being silenced.
Yes, I saw that. I didn't see the video, but I saw the screenshot. It's like, no, you're not.
Fun shit. So I can't say the person's name because they work as a security guard. But they're currently at the or they did a thing at the Reagan Ranch, and they're all of the conservative voices there that are going there to like present, and the only noteworthy one I think is just Reagan's son this time, thankfully. But literally, I just was getting updates from them during the event, and one of the updates was just like, the speaker just told this entire group of young people that the left has taken away their First Amendment rights and none of them are allowed to speak their mind, which is really weird considering they're at this convention speaking their mind.
Yep.
But it's easier to sell a lie, I guess.
Yeah, like it's just hilarious to, like, if they're being silenced, why are their Twitter handles all active? Like, you'd think you'd click on them and be like, oh, this account doesn't exist because they were silenced. But no, they're still being loud. Like, I got to this person through this person's Twitter. Like, I was on this person's timeline, and they retweeted the silenced MDs that they are included. Dr. Lupus, second in the list of the silenced MDs. It was like, I got to this list from her tweeting about a bunch of shit, she's not silenced. Like, maybe the scientists aren't allowed, like, they can't publish their research
Lies.
that is not actually good research in the peer-reviewed journals because it doesn't meet the standards.
But that would be true for
But, like,
literally anything
yeah.
we brought into those journals.
Yeah, that's like you don't automatically have a right to publish anything in a journal. Like, if I try to submit a paper, it will be denied because I can't write a scientific paper. That does not mean I'm being silenced. That means I have to earn my way into that exclusive club. Like, if anyone
Jeez.
could publish in a peer-reviewed journal, then the whole point of the peer review system would be gone.
It's easier though to just operate under the assumption that your side is being silenced, because if you can't get your ideas out there the legitimate way, then the best way to sell your ideas to somebody is to convince everybody that your ideas are so dangerous to the mainstream. They would disrupt the status quo so much, and you're such a rebel. Oh, aren't you just so special? It's easier to sell that idea than it is to actually do the work properly.
Yeah, well, I mean, along similar lines, the conspiracy guy that I'm responding to, there was a surprising number of times where, like, he would make a point and be like, and I would be like, yeah, I completely agree with that. The World Economic Forum is kind of shit. They should not have the power that they have. But, like, it's not because they're a secret cabal of Jews that are running the world without our knowledge. It's because they're a powerful lobby group, and there's an issue with lobbyists having too much power in politics. So it's like, if you maybe didn't surround your criticism of the World Economic Forum with a bunch of bullshit conspiracy nonsense, then we have an actual problem that we can present solutions for and try to solve this problem and make the world a better place. But because you're surrounding it by all the bullshit that is clearly false, like, my favorite is there's a Henry Kissinger quote that when I wanted to see the quote in context, see if he was actually talking about that. Because Henry Kissinger, very problematic dude. Like, he accomplished some pretty good shit in his lifetime, but he's also, like, was more than happy to turn a blind eye to genocides and war crimes and stuff that were happening in the United States allies and be like, oh yeah, no, we don't need to involve ourselves with that. We can just let them keep doing that. There's a recording of him basically saying, I don't care if the Soviets gas the Jews. And considering he is a Jew that literally escaped from Nazi Germany in the 1930s, that's a weird thing for him to have said. So, like, he's not a good guy. You can find bad things that he said, no problem. But this one quote, it originates on a satire article in 2011. And then there's another quote that I found from the same article that's him basically saying, is like, oh, you know, when this whole thing finally happens, it's going to be like we're the sharpshooter just daring the noob to pick up the gun. And when he does, bang, bang. And it's like, I don't think Henry Kissinger is talking in terms of noobs.
Right now, I'm just here to tell you right now, the world makes me tired.
Yeah. Anyway, gays against groomers. So, this is funny because these guys say, did you hear about Scott Wiener's new book that just came out? It's called How to Legally Kidnap Children by Scott Wiener. And at the top it says SB 107. I could not find any evidence of this book actually existing. I guess I cropped it off a little too high. If you go down a little bit on the image, that the girl that's being kidnapped is actually like wearing a trans
because it's
flag
not
shirt.
it's not a book. It's literally just the bill that Scott proposed to allow trans kids to have refuge and asylum in his state.
Yeah. So here's the thing: if you read. So in a reply to this, the Gays Against Groomers, they link to an article that's obviously very much against trans rights, where they talk about how, like, this bill would allow California to essentially kidnap children from their legal parents and guardians in other states. And I read the bill. That's not what it does. Like, I'm not a legal guy. I'm not a lawyer. So maybe that is a scenario that could happen under the language of the bill. But what I got from the bill is that the main focus is parents who are supportive of their kids, who live in states that are not supportive, who have laws on the books that literally will kidnap children from their parents if they support them in their transition. So they've written the law in such a way that, like, if you come to California for your gender affirming care, and like if you're fleeing another state, then if that state issues a subpoena or an extradition order or something to have you arrested or have you brought back or send your medical records back or whatever, they're not going to comply with that subpoena. That's all it is. That's what the bill is. Now, like,
it also makes it to where if memory serves, because Minnesota has a similar one as well, where if you are leaving a state like Florida, which has recently pushed through a ban on gender affirming care, including puberty blockers for minors, if a parent were to take their child to one of these states, there's a protection in the Minnesota one. There might not be in the California one, but I would hope it is. There's a protection that makes it to where legally the other parent cannot pursue from the state of Florida to get that child back to Florida.
It didn't explicitly say that, but I could see how that could be a scenario that is protected by this bill as well. That is certainly what it is being accused of being. If there's like a non-supportive parent, then the state of California will take custody of the kid for the purposes of the legal battle or whatever. But like that it wasn't explicitly in the bill. Like, again, I'm not a law talking guy. I don't know. Maybe I'm misreading it. That's entirely possible. But like my understanding is that it's mainly about supportive parents having somewhere they can go to get gender affirming care for their kid without having to worry about the government kidnapping their kid from them, which is literally a bill that is on the, well, has it been passed yet? I imagine it's going to pass. The one in, like, there's the one in Florida. I'm pretty sure Texas has something similar going on. Like, Florida and Texas are basically doing their best to become Gilead.
Yeah, they're doing everything in their power to be butt buddies here.
Butt buddies are our thing, Suris.
I never said that publicly.
Anyway, next up we got Myth-Informed Mike. Myth-Informed
look,
Mike.
it's how they fall from grace. Anyway.
Okay, so he says, the more you watch of this, the worse it gets. Drew Barrymore and Dylan Mulvaney practically make out on set.
I saw this.
I have the video. Again, there's, I think, yes, I turned the sound off. So basically what they're saying is, like, they're doing one of those stupid TikTok things that I don't understand why it's even a thing, where, like, instead of actually saying anything, you're just, like, lip syncing to, like, a comedy routine that someone else has done.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't understand why that is supposed to be entered. Like, I would rather see the original routine, not just someone lip syncing it. I don't get that. But anyway, this is what they're doing, and it's basically like, you put two friends in a room, there's a chance they might kiss, and then the other person says, yeah, more than a chance, it's gonna happen, sort of thing. And then
they mime getting their lips very close to each other.
Yeah,
repeatedly.
no, I'm showing it on the stream right now.
Yeah, because I saw this and I was just like, what? Like what?
They get their faces close to each other. Yeah,
like,
no,
like at the most you could say, okay, maybe the presentation's a bit cringe.
Yeah,
but who cares?
I don't find it funny. I don't find it charming. I just think it's kind of dumb. But like, whatever. I would like if I had seen that on TikTok, I would have just been like, and kept scrolling, move on with my life. I'm done. That's it. But yeah, apparently, the more you watch of it, the worse it gets. Which means I guess they sat there watching it on repeat for a while. Like, Mike, man, you gotta like. It's okay if you're attracted to them. You can just admit it. You don't need to like watch it on repeat and then find an excuse for having watched it on repeat. You can just watch it and
you were trying to analyze the deep state messages that were being implanted into your brain from the TikTok, from the Chinese Jewish cabal, Rhino.
Yeah, but what's really great is like a bunch of people like responded to this tweet with like, what's the problem? I don't get it. I don't understand. What's wrong with it? Like, why does it get worse?
Like, please explain.
So he replied to that with, oh, fun, the woke are chiming in on this post. It's always way more fun watching the woke try to defend this insanity in real time.
Nobody's defending it,
Nobody's
though.
defending
They're literally
it.
just asking
why. What is the problem? What's wrong with it? And apparently a lot of people are like, in that interview, there was like huge criticism. Like, I guess Drew Barrymore got down on her knees and then they both kind of like sat on the floor for a bit. And it's like, okay, that's weird for a daytime talk show or whatever. late night talk show, whatever it is. I don't know what time Drew Barrymore is on. I didn't even know she had a show until this. But like, yeah, that's a bit weird for an interview style for that. But like, who fucking cares?
Like, this is it. Like, the worst part is, like, you know what it is, right? You know what it is. It's a giant signal to an audience that are already pre-primed to see something like that and go, trans girl I don't like for reasons I can't explain, doing something together, automatically bad. Let's go ahead and shout out that it's bad to the internet. Like, that's what it is. I mean, it's knowing that you have an audience of people.
I like Drew Barrymore. The only thing the thing I dislike about Drew Barrymore the most is her proximity to Adam Sandler. I really don't like Adam Sandler. But Drew Barrymore, I like her.
I don't know if Adam Sandler likes Adam Sandler. I don't know. Do you have self-love and self-care if you make 8 Crazy Nights? I don't know.
I haven't seen 8 Crazy Nights because I don't like Adam Sandler. So like, I don't watch his movies. I saw The Wedding Singer. I saw 50 First Dates, which, holy fuck, that movie is yikes as fuck.
That movie feels like a Predator fantasy sometimes.
Yeah.
Like the way it's presented is it just in like the very comedic fashion is very. You watch it and you're like, okay, so this is kind of funny and kind of charming because of just how clueless everybody in the movie is, and they just want to do better. But like, if that scenario was happening in real life,
my ideal woman is one that I can basically like continue pursuing until I get what I want, and there's no repercussions because she'll just forget who I am, and I can start over the next day. It's just like, no.
And an entire society of people that have built their lives around mimicking the same Groundhog Day for her, day in and day out.
It's like, what I really want is a woman with no agency.
Like, again, within the context of the film, it's watchable. I don't hate that film, but when I think about if that scenario happened in real life, it'd be like, oh, that's a bit...
I mean, the best part of the film, objectively, is when Samwise Gamgee makes his nipples dance.
Hey, Vice Rhino, you've seen A Clockwork Orange, right?
No, actually, I haven't.
Oh, do you at least know the movie theater scene?
I'm familiar with. Are you referring to when his eyes were like held open?
Yeah, because that's what I'm gonna do that to you and make you watch Jack and Jill.
Is that an Adam Sandler movie?
It is an Adam Sandler movie where Adam Sandler plays himself and also a girl version of himself as twins.
That sounds awful.
It is horrendous.
Is it awful in the sense that I'm going to love making fun of it?
You're going to come out of that either scarred or with an entire entourage of dad jokes. And I don't know which one, and I'm willing to take that gamble.
Well, I mean, you know me and dad jokes, man. Like,
yeah, they don't stop coming. Go to sleep.
I wish. Next tweet. Dr. Jordan B. Peterson. Sir, would you do the honors?
This psychogenic epidemic was enabled by therapists and physicians, remaining silent when they should have spoken, lying outright, and profiting all the whole virtue signaling I think he meant all the while. All the while. Virtue signaling unforgivably. I don't know how to fucking type. Shame barely covers it.
You want to talk about not knowing how to type? Did you see his tweet from the other day?
I don't look at all of his tweets, thank God.
Okay, let's see if I don't know if I saved it, but I made it into one of those quote thingies. Okay, yeah, let's add source, image, create new. Excuse me while I browse my computer to figure out where the fuck I saved this thing. Absolutely everything you do at CNN is pathetic virtue signaling. Thank God days are numbered. And the best part was, this is in response to CNN tweeting out that pools in Berlin now allow women to go topless. So it's like he thought of boobs and forgot how to type.
Absolutely everything you do at CNN is pathetic virtue signaling. Thank Miss Piggy L are numbered.
But yeah, that's my favorite quote of his. Anyway, so this was, as you probably guessed just from context, it was about trans people. And
so it's just social contagion theory, that thing
Yeah.
that has been talked about to death but never once proven.
the left-handedness graph.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to.
Tweeterson. Jordan
Jordan
Tweeterson.
Peterson.
That kind of
Oh,
fits.
no.
Like, if you follow him on Twitter, you can watch his descent into madness. Like, he's getting so much worse at hiding how much of an idiot he is.
What are you
Like,
talking about?
he seems-
I'm not getting worse. I'm telling you that what I do is not only important, but
I
it's
think-
necessary. And I cry when I go onto podcasts all the time.
I think he's lost his ability to engage in word salad. So, like, he's just saying it. He's just saying what he means without dressing it up in intelligent-sounding language.
He lost the ability to toss the salad a long time
Yes.
ago with the all beef diet.
Suris, your Kermit voice is making me want to get that Miss Piggy impression song of, like, I'm sure you're aware of it. They play it when they see dogs with long noses.
Oh no, I don't want to send you the thing that was sent to me literally 20 minutes ago, but it's that meme, but it's awful.
Send it.
Oh, okay, hold on. Hold on. Are you on Discord? Can I send it to you there?
No, you can send it to me on WhatsApp.
Oh wait, no, I can do that. Yeah, you're right. What am I doing?
Fucking
I'm being stupid.
Discord. I have a Discord server. I wonder how that's doing. I haven't been in it in years.
I don't know either. I don't go into my Discord server that much either. I should. I really should. Okay, here you go. Here you go. Enjoy.
Okay. Am I gonna have to put this on the stream?
You know what?
It's not. Okay.
You know what? Maybe it's worth the gamble. Maybe it's worth the gamble.
It's not gonna take my channel down. Worst case scenario, it just gets me demonetized. Whatever. Add source. Image.
Oh boy.
Browse. Boop. There we go.
Let me do it for you, Jeremy.
Yeah. This dog's got a condom on its nose. Like, come on.
At least they're safe.
It can't breathe, though. It can't breathe.
Who needs to breathe?
Okay. I think that's been up for long enough. We can.
I think it's been up for long enough too. No, you mentioned that and just like, this thing was sent to me at 8:42 p.m. today. Why not?
And my chat, I hope my chat is familiar with the "Let me do it for you" meme, because it's a lot. It makes a lot. I mean, it doesn't actually make sense, but it makes a lot more sense in the context of that meme's existence than it does just by itself if you're not aware of that. So if you're not aware of that meme, just do a search for "Let me do it for you" meme, and there's like this whole cartoon series of videos. They don't involve sex play most of the time.
Not all the time.
Usually, like
They
the original
they
one.
usually involve a potato chip.
Yeah, the original one is the dog sticks his nose down a Pringles can to get the last Pringle for you. But
Let me do it for you.
yeah, and that's the song. And yeah, there's more history to it, like, because that song was originally just some guy imitating Miss Piggy in a private chat, and then like his buddy just thought it was funny, so he put a piano line behind it, and then someone years later threw it on a meme.
I mean, that's how the internet works. We recycle our humor.
Yep.
Over 9,000 stopped being funny until it was funny again.
Oh, I still make jokes about that every now and then.
Yep.
Frank Turek says, if the God who created you and sacrificed himself for you wanted you to refrain from certain sexual behaviors, would you obey him? Okay, before we get on to the rest of this, where
He didn't sack himself. He literally just took a fucking vacation.
Yeah, okay, but let's grant this whole point. Somebody sacrifices their life for you. Are you now obligated to live the rest of your life in accordance with their desires?
No, they're dead. Why the fuck do they care?
Yeah, well, no, even if they were alive, like this person who is now dead would want me to do this. Do I have to do that? No.
I have a question, Mr. Frank Turek. So if I happen to look up just big-titted anime orgy dojins and I shoot rope to it, does that inconvenience God? Or is he watching along with me?
He's watching along with you.
Not only is he watching along with me, he's omnipresent. So he's currently tickling my prostate while I do it.
And you literally come inside him. And you literally come inside him.
And he came inside me.
That's another.
He is as much a participant in this act as anyone else.
So that's another bit that okay, I'll give a brief audio preview of Friday's video coming up. Just a second while I load it.
Shalex in my chat says, and he watched the mangaka create it.
Yep. Just remember, every single sexual act, technically speaking, God has been in the middle of it, if he exists. Every single one. Gay, straight, whatever. Doesn't matter.
Everybody's a little gay because God's been inside of them.
Well, God's gender fluid, so that doesn't make you gay.
He's going to put his gender fluid inside you, yeah.
Okay, let's see. Is it this one?
Stoff in my chat says, God hasn't punished me for what I drew yesterday yet, so I don't think he cares.
Well, also not.
Here we go. Come on, man. Phrasing. These supposedly accidental euphemisms happen in Christianity so frequently that I'm pretty much convinced at this point that they do it on purpose to generate reactions. Come inside me, Lord Jesus. Show me your power. Enter me and fill me with your glory. Come, Lord Jesus, come. Like, they have to know, right? There's no way that they don't know. That's in my video this Friday.
I just want to go ahead and let you know, it is canonical within the Bible that Mary Magdalene has a thing for feet.
Yeah. She rubs her hair all over it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Just reminding everyone, just in case they might have forgotten.
And yeah, no, that is canonical. Yeah, you can't deny that.
Nope. Shit that happened.
But yeah,
shit was real.
Yeah. So my question, like, the analogy that I've heard is that imagine someone has an infinitely large loaf of bread. They have a bread that infinitely replenishes itself. So then if somebody comes up and steals a piece of that bread, have they actually stolen something? No, because you have an infinite supply of it. So you have not lost anything. Like,
congratulations, you've just explained internet piracy.
Well, okay, so an argument could be made there that, like, if you actually buy the thing, then the money goes to, like, realistically the developers or people who worked on the movies or whatever you're pirating.
What's
they've
the
already
difference
been
between me
paid?
pirating the thing and buying it from GameStop? Either way, they don't get any money from me, and
True,
I am playing the game.
Secondhand. Yeah, I was thinking of first party buying, because like that's the thing is, like, they'll say,
who
like,
has that kind of money?
Yeah, well, so the anti-piracy argument is basically that like, if you pirate it, then you're stealing money from the gaffers and the lighting people and the cameraman and the developers or whatever. But it's like, they get paid hourly. They don't get a kickback on like on the profits from the, like, in very rare instances does anyone get kickbacks from it other than, like, the studio and maybe some actors. or like maybe director, producer, writer, like the higher ups would get the kickbacks. The people who work the cameras, they're not getting kickbacks from it. So like if you pirate it, they've already been paid their hourly wage. Doesn't make a difference to them. What makes a difference is if more people pirate it than buy it, then the studio is going to see that that loses money, and so they're not going to do something like that in the future. So that it's like the future gigs that might not pan out, but I'm pretty sure that Hollywood's pretty safe for that.
Not to mention, if there's one thing that I've learned, Gabe Newell had a really good point that piracy generally happens whenever there's a hole in the market that is not being properly taken care of by a publisher, because most people pirate for the convenience.
Yeah. Well, and for my instance, I used to pirate a lot of music back when I was a teenager. Rebellious
Napster,
rebellious,
LimeWire.
yeah. I use both of those. Are you old enough to remember the pain of spending 2 days downloading one song over dial-up connection speeds?
And when you got the song, it sounded like it was underwater.
Yeah, or it had one of those like anti-piracy things right in the middle of it, or it cut off before the end of the song.
Yep.
Yeah, those were the days.
Or it was a live recording that somebody took with like...
Yeah, and they labeled it as if it was a studio recording.
Yep.
Yeah. That was fun. This is bringing back memories. But
this is the reason why I played RuneScape as a kid, because it was in the browser.
But yeah, so my thing here is that the reason I pirated these songs is because like I'm a teenager. I don't have a lot of money. Like if I don't have a job, or if I do have a job, I have better things to spend my money on than CDs. Or at least I thought I did. Like I wasn't really into CDs for the most part. So I wouldn't like. How would I learn about new music? I didn't really listen to the radio at all. So if like the way that I was exposed to new music was through piracy. Yep. So there are several bands that I still have the CDs that I bought when I was a teenager, and I bought every single one of the CDs from these bands, and I never would have known about them if I hadn't found out about them from someone who pirated their stuff and then told me to pirate their stuff, and so I pirated their stuff, and I'm like, hey, I kind of like this. I think I'll buy the album. So, in my case, piracy
that's how Fall Out Boy got popular. Like literally, they got popular during the age of LimeWire, and piracy was effectively their marketing mechanism in the earliest years.
Fusel says, I remember crying because I downloaded music and once saw the police driving by my house thinking they were out looking for me. So
I remember getting those horror stories like in the newspaper that my mom would send to me, and just like these people downloaded 500 megabytes of music and now they owe thousands of dollars.
So when I was in high school, we had a German exchange student live with us for a semester, and he once told me that if he ever saw the police pull up to his house in Germany, the first thing he would do, without even thinking about it for a split second, would be to pull his hard drive out of his computer and smash it with a hammer. And now, to be fair, he did more piracy than just the music. Like, he brought from Germany with him a copy of Windows Whistler. Are you familiar with Windows Whistler?
No.
Windows Whistler was the code name for Windows XP. So I had a computer that was running Windows XP thanks to this German guy before Windows XP was released.
Oh.
So like I had exclusive access to Windows XP before it was available to the general public, thanks to this guy having pirated Windows Whistler.
Huh.
So it's not like he just had some music. Like he had some
he had some shit that you should not have had.
Yeah. And like this is the stuff that he felt comfortable telling the stranger that he just lived with for a couple months in Canada. So like imagine what he didn't feel comfortable telling us.
Yeah, I'm just imagining a bunch of scenes from Eurotrip, but like recorded and put on a hard drive. Wandersex.
Yeah, no, he had a whole hidden directory on that drive that was full of pictures of naked women, and it was pictures back then because it was dial-up internet, so you couldn't download videos.
I remember as a child discovering Yahoo image search for the first time. And it changed my life.
Yeah,
is all I'm saying.
It's still like that scene of comic book guy downloading the picture of Captain Janeway on The Simpsons still hits hard. It's like I remember when that's how it was.
I remember I was being like at my grandmother's house, and everybody was asleep, and I was using the family computer because that was a thing that people had back then, and I didn't know how to delete history. I didn't know how to do any of that, but I would literally I'd click a page, and then like the absolute nanosecond that I would hear anything that sounded like the door to the garage opening or anything, just immediately close out of everything. Go to the window that had RuneScape running. Log in real quick. I've been playing the whole time. Trust me.
Yeah. So I once.
But anyway, God sacrificed himself so we could do that, right?
Yes. But yeah, my point is with the infinite loaf of bread, does that actually if God is an infinite being? So even if you do sin against him, have you done him any damage? He's infinite. He's got this infinite power. He's infinitely powerful. So if I do something not infinitely powerful against him, has that damaged him in any way? No.
So
it's literally
so
impossible.
He's infinite.
It's literally impossible to do anything that could offend such a being.
So if he's infinite, Rhino, then I have a couple questions for you. Is he the tallest of mountains? Is he the roughest of waves?
This is what I get into when people say he's perfect. It's like, well, perfect is very subjective. What do you mean by perfect? Because there is a perfect butt plug. Is God the perfect butt plug because he's the perfect everything?
I think he's the toughest of terrors, actually. And he's the darkest of days. My chat knows what I'm doing.
Yeah,
my chat's cringing at me.
I don't know what you're doing, but I knew that it was something like that. That your chat would know.
So there's Ivana, I know the joke's flying over Rhino's head. That was on purpose. I knew it would. So
Scott Dillahunt says, if God is infinite, what does he need with worshippers? Exactly. He doesn't.
There's a villain in the Sonic the Hedgehog series whose name is Infinite. And his theme song goes, I am the tallest of mountains, I am the roughest of waves, I am the toughest of terrors, I am the darkest of days.
Okay.
So you said when you said he's literally infinite, I'm like, okay, I guess he's
God
literally
is all those
infinite.
Things. Yeah. All right, and that was the last one, and it's about 10 o'clock, so it's time for me to go.
He's perfect timing.
Thank you for joining me tonight, Suris. Thank you for allowing me to stick your tits in my chat so they could grab them with their little hands. Oh,
yeah! Thank you for allowing sexual harassment on your platform.
No comment. I would like to issue a statement apologizing for the former statements that I made regarding Suris's tits and the grabbing
thereof. All right, guys. I just want you guys to know that Rhino's last name is actually Clinton. His chat did not have relations.
My chat did not have sexual relations with that gentleman's tits. Oh, Bill Clinton. Basically a Republican.
I mean, 90s Democrats.
I'm still mad that RIFRA is his fault. RIFRA is a Democrat bill.
Hey.
On that cheery note, fuck off.